welcome everyone back to a nice, unusually pleasant fall day on Gardening in the Delta. Down below you find links to the other channels, Brother Claude Reflects, SUZYQKNICKKNACKS, and Cooking with MARYSUE. Claude is just about ready to finish up planting bulbs for the fall. He's been doing it for the last several weeks. He only tries to come out here and do it when the weather is not too terribly cold. We've had several weeks of odd weather where it's been dipping down to the 40s and low 50s during the day, which he does not like, especially if it's windy. But today's a rare occasion. Today we got high 60s, almost 70, and he thinks he can finish it. He's only got about 10 left. He started out with 500, so he's done quite a bit this last month getting them all in. What are you planting today, the last few?
Narcissus.
Narcissus, okay.
And I don't know whether the plural of that is narcissus or narcissi. But anyway, I will be planting narcissus.
Okay.
And let me show you what they look like in case you don't know.
Man, they're a huge bulb.
They are huge bulbs. This is a double bulb.
Oh, two plants in one, like twins, huh?
Well, that's how they spread.
Okay.
So, I got 2 for 1 price there. There were, I think, only 25 in this batch.
25 in that bag. 50? 25, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming a large bulb will produce a large plant, huh?
Well, not necessarily a large bloom.
Large bloom?
Narcissus are not as big when they bloom as a daffodil, or a jonquil, some people call them. So the bloom will be smaller, but they bloom about the same time of the year, and they spread about alike. These happen to be orange in color, which is a little bit unusual for narcissus. Usually they are kind of white or off-white color. So anyway, I guess that's the reason you bought them. Anyway, let's get down to the planting. You plant these 6 inches deep and 6 inches apart. That is in order, you plant them 6 inches apart because they spread. They've got to have room to spread. And eventually, in years to come, this whole area here will be covered with these. Now, I have some jonquils that I planted.
Jonquils that way? Here. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you planted peonies on the other side of that fence there, you told me. 5 different peonies. They're going to be gorgeous.
And they will be different colors.
Yeah, I did buy unusual colors this time for you.
And I also have some daylilies planted there. I have sweet pea and the, what do you call it plant? I've heard
the yucca. The yucca's doing good. And a crepe myrtle here that was gorgeous and bloomed not long ago. Is that it right there?
Must be behind it. Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not blooming now, but it did have, I think, pretty dark red or purple blooms on it. But it's out of season now. It's dying for the winter. It'll come back.
Okay. Now then, 6 inches down, 6 inches apart. And don't worry, you don't have to watch me plant all 25.
No.
We're just going to do a couple of these, so you'll know how to plant them.
Well, thank goodness you only got about 10 left and you can call it quits for the winter. Till springtime.
Okay. Now, some people will say to put fertilizer, bone meal, or whatever. I don't do that. I think that's a lot of extra work and expense. I've never had these that didn't come up and bloom. Be sure the dirt is kind of moist, so be sure you crumble the dirt up. Don't just cram it in the hole.
Kind of loosen it, that gives room for the bulb to start growing. Well, I have a hard time growing if the dirt's too, I guess, tight around it. Yeah, too compact, too tight.
Yeah. So this is good loose dirt here. This is good dirt to grow them in. And they like to grow under trees. They like shade. They will die down. They'll bloom probably the 1st of February. Now I'm going to stomp on this when I get up. That's a good old southern word, stomp. Like, I'm going to stomp you in the ground.
There we go.
Okay, so that's 2 right there.
Okay.
Oh, also, if you're planting small numbers of plants, like I am here, you plant them like this. Hey, there's another.
Another double?
I think I'm going to divide these.
Okay. Spread them out a little bit.
Yeah. You plant them in a triangle. That gives them a more natural appearance when they come up in bloom. Don't plant them in a straight row. Now, after I plant these, I'll go into another section and maybe I'll have the apex of the triangle up here and the bottom of the triangle this way. That gives another appearance of a naturalization process. Did all of that make sense?
Yes, it did.
Okay. You mean I actually said something that made sense?
Uh-huh.
I may have run into a problem right here.
Tree root, maybe?
Yeah.
That's one problem about trying to plant flowers under trees. You're going to run into tree roots sometimes. And you just have to find another spot, maybe.
Well, maybe I can get this one. Yeah, it was a small root.
Oh, okay. I heard it crack,
You
yeah.
heard it pop.
I heard it pop.
Yeah.
When you break that root, you can hear it pop.
Yeah. Okay. Let me show you what I do in this situation. Okay. It broke the tree root. There it is right there.
A little tiny thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how you're putting the bulb in. Which part goes in first?
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
Sometimes I get confused.
Yeah. The small part goes
point,
to the top.
the little point.
Goes to the top. Always the big round bottom goes to the bottom. That's, as you can tell right here, there's some roots. Those are dead roots, but it'll come out in the spring.
And your flower's going to come out of that little pointed top at the top.
Yeah.
The pointed part.
And there will be multiple blooms. It won't be just one bloom. It could be as many as, 10, 15, 20 blooms from that one bulb.
Well, that's great.
And you can imagine, if you get 15 or 20 of them planted close together, you've got a big, pretty area of blooms there.
Yeah, when I was picking these out back in the springtime to order for them to come out in the fall, I tried to pick out bulbs that would grow in the shade because I know you try and fill in this shade spot down here. A lot of trees here, a lot of shade, it gets dapple sun.
Yeah.
So I tried to pick out things that would grow in the shade.
And another thing, something that deer won't eat.
Yes, deer resisting. So we have a lot of deer around here.
And they have decimated this area on the other side of our driveway there, which I had hundreds and hundreds of plants. And they've just gone in there and eaten just about everything. And I think the reason is, turn around and show them the field out there.
That field?
Yeah, that field in years past, they've had soybeans or corn planted in that field. I don't know what they planted this year, but I think they just let it die and then came out here and cut it all down. But they didn't have the food supply that they've had in years past. So they've had to raid our flower gardens.
Yes, and they sure did.
Now you see how I've got these planted? 1, 2,
2,
and I'm
3.
doing the third one right here.
Kind of a triangle shape.
So when I get this one planted, I think that'd be enough for you to put on video.
Okay.
And you can go on back to the house and cook that chili. that you were talking about you were going to fix for dinner
Yeah, I'm
tonight.
gonna fish a nice pot of hot chili for tonight.
Yeah, and we have some cornbread
Oh yes.
in the refrigerator already.
Yes, I made cornbread for Thanksgiving, and we have some left in the freezer. I try to always keep that cornbread in the freezer, especially in the wintertime. He likes it with all kinds of soups and chili.
Yeah, I like that award-winning cornbread. And if you don't have her recipe, please go to her Cooking with Mary Sue YouTube channel and what do they look up? Cornbread.
Cheesy cornbread. My first recipe on my that channel. I did it over a year ago. You also happy with just a nice piece of cornbread and a bowl of beans too, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Bowl of white beans and cornbread.
Can't beat it.
Well, I'll leave you to your digging, and I'll head back to the house. This is it for today. We'll try to come back maybe next week with something else. There's not quite as much to do out here in the wintertime, but he always looks around to find little stuff to do around here.
So what we've been doing.
Yes, we've been putting lights up down here. Too bad it's not nighttime, you can see them, but we got some decorations up. Lights on the rail.
We showed them last year around Christmas
We
time.
did. There's a beautiful wreath up on the gate, but we'll attend to that later.
Yeah, well, we put the same thing this year that we had last year. We may have rearranged it a little bit, but pretty much have the same thing we did last year.
Yeah. Happy gardening, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving, and hope everybody has a great Christmas. We'll get back to you later. Bye for now.